Morning guys, here's another crypto update from Kevin Cage. Let's get started. Therefore, if we look at the Bitcoin US dollar index on a monthly basis, we can see that we are currently at 99,000. For months, we have been in a range. During any backtesting, it becomes more tedious. The longer we stay in this range, people frequently claim that cryptocurrency is dying, and we have seen this happen numerous times. Now, I think that every cycle has an exciting time termed alt season, during which alts bounce back and regain their dominance. By examining the prior two alt seasons, we can tell that Bitcoin is dominating this one. The last two alt seasons have so resulted from these crashes of Bitcoin dominance declining, while the Bitcoin US dollar index rises. And when we look at the past alt seasons, we can see that Bitcoin supremacy is still growing, which makes this one of the... We observed that Bitcoin was increasing during the alt season when its dominance crashed. The Bitcoin price chart is reaching higher highs as I go down here. Additionally, we will observe the same behavior at the beginning of every season if we zoom in on the previous cycle. Thus, the dominance of Bitcoin is collapsing. What is the purpose of Bitcoin? It's rising, reaching new heights. Thus, both of these price charts show an upward tendency when considering Bitcoin and its supremacy today. And since Bitcoin dominance is collapsing as it rises, it's one of the most optimistic scenarios we might witness this year. It is only a matter of waiting till we reach a range for Bitcoin. As you can see, the highest Bitcoin has ever been was approximately 109,000, and the lowest it has ever gone, at least recently, is just under 75k. Thus, we are observing this ping pong match. Get ecstatic if we breach upward. I want to maintain these levels if we descend again, otherwise backtest will be observed. I'm not trying to give anyone financial advice, but I firmly think that Bitcoin's dominance will eventually return to cycle lows because it's what we've always seen. Another alt season is the collapse of Bitcoin's dominance as it rises. Therefore, if history is to rhyme, that is what we are searching for. As I have stated throughout the year, Bitcoin and Bitcoin dominance are the two most crucial charts to keep an eye on if you want to gain insight into the altcoin market. Even examining the price chart for XRP has been dull. Therefore, we are examining retracement levels and have not gained any insane insight. We didn't go all the way back. Boiled down to the golden ratio of 618. Not all the way down to a 786 though. When we turn off the lights, we can observe that the price is still above both the monthly candle bodies from 20172018 and the high from 2021. The main idea is to just observe Bitcoin and its dominance. XRP may decline if Bitcoin retreats as its dominance increases. However, alt season will begin when Bitcoin's supremacy actually collapses and it reaches new highs. In that scenario, I would be surprised if XRP didn't reach fresh all-time highs during another full season. For the past two alt seasons, which are indicated by the precise dates on the monthly timeline where the periods of the highest ROI for XRP occurred, that is just what we have done. Okay, so that was essentially a brief recap of what I discussed in March. Now let's talk about some recent news. Brad Garlinghouse has provided the Q1 2025 XRP markets report with us. Brad did provide us with some fascinating information right here. He continues by saying that the XRP markets report will appear somewhat differently going forward. As some may recall, the goal of these reports, which began to be published in 2017, was to provide transparency regarding Ripple's XRP holdings, which the SEC and others regrettably utilized against us. Our dedication to openness remains unchanged, notwithstanding this development. Our XRP holdings will still be listed on ripple.com/XRP. Instead of being compiled into a single end of quarter update, we will continue to provide updates about Ripple and XRP via our current social media channels. That struck me as intriguing, so I suppose it's time to say this. Let's get started with the most recent XRP markets report. So major highlights: Franklin Templeton submitted an S1 for a US spot exchange traded fund for XRP. XRP futures were launched by CME, an ETF specifically for Repeal comes first. Thus, a long criticized accounting rule that barred banks from handling cryptocurrency custody was lifted. As a result of regulatory changes with the FDIC and new instructions from the OCC confirming banks' custody of cryptocurrency, traditional financial institutions will be able to investigate cryptocurrency. I know we've all said this 5 years ago, but if you don't know that banks will be handling custody in cryptocurrency, that there will be more investment products, that there will be staking alternatives in the future, I'm at a loss for words. It is taking place today. Other than that, we have some stats and on-chain activities related to the US dollar, Ripple. Now, let's move on to Merlin, the most intelligent method for tracking your I use this to keep track of my portfolio these days, and it's linked in both my link tree and the description of the YouTube video. Thus, we can proceed directly to the top of the link tree. In addition to launching their Android application, I wanted to let you know that IFM films that go into great detail about Merlin and this platform. And I'm telling you now that people will realize how important it is to have exit plans the next time we witness interesting price action. Additionally, Gemini has announced the launch of the Ripple US dollar and its availability for trading. Additionally, Jack Madden from Ripple is giving some details about his upcoming speech at the Stablecoin Payments House in Toronto next week. I'm excited to talk about institutional stablecoin adoption and anything related to the Ripple US dollar. Okay, folks, let's wrap up today's video with a brief clip that Bank XRP shared. Thus, David Sachs, Trump's crypto czar, announces the end of the ban on cryptocurrency and forecasts a boom. Biden's executive order on artificial price intelligence, which contained 100 pages of pointless regulations, was repealed. The war on crypto is over. And additionally, I believe that we are working to prevent the regulatory capture that favors big incumbents. In addition to all of this, other actions have also been taken to improve the economy. However, I do believe that this prepares us for a future Trump boom. Simply put, many of these changes take time to manifest. Please hit the like button and share your ideas in the comments section below if you like this video. All of the links to my cryptocurrency resources like trading bots, wallets, portfolio trackers, charting tools, and special discounts are located in the video description's link tree. I appreciate you watching, and I hope to see you in the future one.